and they just poured out their damn cereal and got on with their day until they joined the Mandela effect forums 20 years later, and in the meantime they just kind of assumed it was fruit like fruit, not fruit like fruit, or some other obvious commonplace explanation like that. But instead the reason they're wrong is that there's some sort of intrusion of an alternate dimension into ours, or that reality itself is breaking down and certain people actually experience things being a different way. The reason that they don't remember how to spell Fruit Loops is because in their version of the universe it really did have a UI, not an OO. Now, even though some people were asking me to cover this for quite a while, I avoided covering a lot of these kind of things because I just did not see anything to interest me in them. Of course, yeah, they're very silly claims, but what I tend to like to respond to, especially in recent years, is stuff that has something to do with religion. And I didn't realize how deeply religious a lot of these ideas really are, at least for some people. And this one's no exception. That's enough intro, let's get going. However perfect you wish your brain was, it's just a fact of life that your memory can and will betray you. Cultural and social and other influences will change some of your memories that you swear are true. Even just recalling the memories will do that as your brain reconstructs the scene. We all have false memories. This doesn't mean we're crazy. It's just an inevitable consequence of how the human brain works on a physical level. And if you pay attention, you can identify some of them. In fact, that's what the Mandela effect crowd does. They just don't quite seem to realize it. I personally am aware of some facts about my younger life, ranging from my childhood all the way up to not that long ago, which I know are completely false because the dates of things don't match up remotely, or they involve people in places they've never been to, and yet these memories are as real and as clear to me as any other memories I have. You need to rely on your memory to an extent, of course, just to get through the day. And there are a lot of things that you will have memories of that may be false memories, but there's not really any consequence to that. But don't take the truth of your memories for granted. Don't assume that they can't be influenced by things that you encounter later, or by other people, or by some relation to some pre-existing memory, and your brain trying to make the world make sense. To do that is to deny your humanity. Now likewise, outside of individual memory, there are some things that society more broadly gets wrong on a wide scale just because misinformation spreads like a meme through any of a million different avenues. So don't take society's memory for granted either. After all, a society's nothing but a bunch of human beings chattering at each other, putting ideas in each other's heads and confusing the shit out of each other. Now, all of this is, for better or worse, and let's face it, probably worse, just a fact about what we are. And you have a choice about how you respond to this. You can fall to the temptation to just deny it, search desperately for any other explanation, no matter how far-fetched, just to reassure yourself that the problem is not with your own brain, not with human beings at all, but something outside of all of us, uncontrollable, something that none of us are responsible for, something we can't do anything about, putting imperfect thoughts into our perfect heads. It might be more comfortable to believe that you have an infallible, godly mind. After all, for a while, that might let you salvage some of your misplaced pride about being wrong. But in the long run, all you'll actually succeed in doing is to give yourself a pass for laziness, for not bothering to double-check the factual basis of your beliefs, for not performing your duty of monitoring and maintaining your own mind. And ultimately, your memories will only diverge further from reality. That's not very productive. On the other hand, you have a real vivid memory of it, I bet. Tell you what, here's a way you can test that vivid memory of yours. Don't look up pictures of Mr. Monopoly, or is it Rich Uncle Pennybags? Mandela! Draw him right now from memory, in detail. And then for good measure, draw every single mascot. The Mandela effect is real. Why would that imply that I'm under a spell and not just unconvinced?